another episode of NASA 5E for our Arcanoclism campaign. Last week, the party had some downtime in Neverwinter and went about some various activities. Borax went and found a druidic order to try to learn more about the vision that he had out on the mountain road on the way to the Crypt Garden Forest. Stock and Nevis spent some time improving Stock's armor, and in exchange for that, Stock started teaching Nevis how to use martial weapons. During that 10-day, Xanalor went back to a few of his old haunts throughout Neverwinter, and just kind of did some looking around. You guys met with Varen of the Mages College of Neverwinter, and you, after sort of asking for some extra money for the parchment that you guys got from Xantor's shack, you guys shared that information with Varen, and he told you guys about Hildraith, who was a former colleague at the college, and how he suddenly left the college along with a bunch of people, and no one had heard from them for a number of years until Xantor was spotted outside of the Crypt Garden Forest recently. Varen needed that 10-day that you guys were using for downtime in order to kind of go over the paperwork that you handed in, and to, whoops, I just broke the clip off my pen, in order to look over the paperwork that you guys had handed him in to kind of figure out what the next step was. Eventually, you guys were called to the Mages College by File Redfoot, the messenger, and you guys were taken to the headmaster's chambers, where Varen was currently, as he is now the acting headmaster of the college after the college's current headmaster, Remus Salazar, has gone missing. Varen asked you guys to keep this one kind of close to the chest, but to head to a temple in a swamp near the village de Zoot, in order to obtain a powerful magic item known as Brew. Outside of its name, its abilities are not well documented, but Varen believes that if Hildraith and his quote-unquote cult were to obtain Brew, that it would be very bad. So you guys sort of re-upped your lease on your donkeys and took off for de Zoot. But what we're going to start out with here actually is we're going to kind of circle back to that 10-day that you guys had of downtime, and we're going to check in with Vershad. Vershad, on your 10-day off, what did you get up to?
Well, the first thing he would have done is get back into town,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that he made the contract for Charlie the donkey permanent.
Okay.
Then he would have sat there and bought a few new clothes, something that made him look a lot more like a member of the middle class.
Okay. So just to clarify, when you said make the contract for Charlie permanent, are you purchasing Charlie outright?
Yes.
Okay. How many gold did I have you charge for Charlie in the first place?
You had me pay 3.
Okay. So for an extra 5, you can have him.
Okay. And then you said I got 25 gold from
25 gold, yeah.
All right. So that leaves me with 27 gold remaining.
Mm-hmm.
And then to buy me my fancy clothes would be...
How fancy of clothes are you talking? Like, what are you looking for as far as clothes wise?
Something that I would look like a man about town, but not draw attention to myself.
Okay. All right. You find a shop up near the... actually, here, I'm going to switch over maps here really quick so that we can all be appraised of what's going on right now. So I just loaded up the city map of Neverwinter. So in the Blue Lake district, sort of between Castle Never and Blue Lake, is a sort of a well-to-do area, as we kind of talked about with Xanalor. I'd say for 8 silver pieces, you could probably get some pretty fancy clothes.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I will buy one of those. I'll
Okay.
never put it on. I just fold it up nicely and put it into my sack.
Okay.
Hold up. Actually, put that in. Then the next thing I want to do is go back to the stables.
Okay.
And I want to find a horse that has kind of like a chestnut hair color.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and make an investigation check for me?
Okay. 12 plus 14.
14. Okay. Yeah, you actually remember, kind of having been wild shaping and going to various places to sleep comfortably as an animal. You remember actually a horse with chestnut hair, and you just find that horse pretty quickly. So you're able to find that horse without much difficulty at all, and you're able to make some clippings to make you're making a wig.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, to get some clippings. You actually, in order, would Vershad like take all the hair he needed from a single horse, or would he try to maybe spread it out so that it was less?
No.
No?
Probably
Okay.
just sits there and cuts it from the tail.
All right. Yeah. So there is a horse that has a chestnut mane and currently has no chestnut tail. What is I'm assuming that a horse's tail looks kind of like a whippet's tail underneath without all the fur, without all the hair on it. I mean,
Well, we're about to find out.
yeah. All right. Anything else?
So I'm going to spend the rest of the 10-day trying to craft that hair into a wig.
Okay.
And then if there's still hair remaining, a goatee.
Okay.
Then finally spending the rest of the 10-day writing down everything I can remember about those the wolf dog,
Mm-hmm.
the kidney bean beasts, and all the other aberrations we found, trying to sit there and take my version of notes about all of them.
Okay. What do those notes kind of look like, if you wouldn't mind?
So it comes out with a really, really good illustration. And instead of sitting there saying it's like, hey, really sharp claws and pack tactics, it just comes down to like there's an arrow that sits there and says, like, points to mouth and goes, ouchies. Drawing other smaller illustrations of things I hate, and then saying it's basically this.
Okay.
Yeah. Making it kind of like the annotations that Nathan Drake puts on his journals in the Uncharted series. By the way, Scott, spoilers. Nathan Drake's got a notebook.
Okay. Was there? So go ahead. Let's have you make make a dexterity check for me. And also, yeah. Go ahead and make a dexterity check.
All right. That's a 13 plus 2, 15.
15. Okay. So the wig and associated goatee actually turned out pretty good.
Neat.
Takes
Once
you
again-
a couple days, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, you've done this like once before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes you a little while. You remember what you're doing, and you do a really good job of it. I think you've probably improved upon your last model, but it still takes you some time. Probably like 2 or 3 days of really working at it.
That's fine.
The kind of filling up your free time with the journaling. So we had talked about you wanting to do something else. Were you still wanting to do that with like the paperwork?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So the last part of it is I want to get a fake ID.
Right. Okay.
So I can buy alcohol.
Yeah. So, sort of borrowing from the assassin class skill there, we're going to say that for 10 gold pieces, you can get yourself very passable, this sort of basically a fake identification, paperwork.
Say no more. Got it.
Yeah. It's not as in depth as like what say like 25 gold would get you, but that also takes a lot of time. 25 gold and basically a 10-day would get you a fake ID and a fake identity, really, that would have like full on like not necessarily like patents of nobility, so to speak, but like this person like knows people, so like people have been paid to say like, hey, I know this person.
Yep. Nope, that's fine.
Okay.
The 10 gold one is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I kind of figured. All right. So Vershad, you spend your 10-day doing this, and
the name on that fake ID would say Royce Kalidan.
Royce Kalidan. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So my question really for you, Vershad, is during the 10-day off, do you spend much of that time at the Breeze home with the party or no?
Probably not more than a couple hours.
Okay.
A day.
Okay. So we'll say then that Vershad, you were absent for the party's trip to the Mages College.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day you decided like, oh, I haven't seen those guys in a little while. So you check in on the Breeze home and you notice that, they've left again. So you head back over to the stables. You pick up Charlie and you head out on the road.
Is there any chance they left a note as to where they're heading off to?
Yeah, Borax left a little note like in your in
my mailbox.
Yeah, basically like your mailbox or like next to the bedstand on the bed you don't use, but you decided to like check there. And it basically said like heading to Dazut, and he drew like a rough map of like the area. It's like the northern Sword Coast region.
Oh, nice. I'm winning them over.
And it says the note says like, hey, not sure really where you went, but if you're, if you get this and you want to meet up with us, here's where we're headed. Can you make an animal handling check for me?
10 plus 4, 14.
14. Okay. So you and Charlie, you guys are making pretty good time coming out of Neverwinter. You get down through the high road, and you notice that there's a path that branches off back towards sort of like the northeast around the Neverwinter Wood, where you guys had actually taken a path that went like straight up in the mountains from the Mirror of Dead Men, but you head up that path and you actually so you're riding and you actually come across the party as they've been stopped for a period of time by a group of people on a pilgrimage who are regaling them with the tale of Haggard the Hammer, their chosen deity. And
I 100% ask them those stories again, and I get super amped up just because they scream smote.
Yes, because I've been sick, I'm not going to go through the whole story again. But basically, they tell you a sort of a what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a fantastical retelling that really downplays the rest of the party's involvement in what Hagrid did.
Oh, who fucking cares? They're just a bunch of guys.
Like, for instance, Hagrid having single-handedly destroyed the Cult of the Dragon.
No, he needed the left hand too.
But yeah, so you catch up with the party then, and while you guys are traveling, you guys can kind of say whatever you'd like to each other. I'm going to say though that through the rest of the day on the road, it's fairly uneventful, and you guys make it. You get start getting pretty close again to the Neverwinter Wood, you see the path sort of up ahead, like on one of the hills. You can see that the path basically just rolls right next to the Neverwinter Wood for what looks like a pretty long way. The Neverwinter Wood is pretty big. So is there anything that you guys would like to do or say to each other before bedding down for the evening?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I got the message on the nightstand. It's good seeing you all again.
Where the fuck have you been?
Oh, yeah. That's unimportant. I literally just did some journaling, and it took longer than I thought.
Were you the raccoon that was following me?
No, but where is he? I'd like to say hi.
I don't trust him.
Raccoons? Oh man, they're great. Just
You
throw them
don't-
a little.
Stock, you don't trust who?
Exactly.
Well, it's an actual question.
For me to know and you to find out. Both the raccoon and Jay at the moment.
Okay. Why don't you make an insight check for me then?
With a wonderfully dice that hopped out of my box. So my actual one is... there's numbers somewhere. 23.
23. Okay. Would you like to, Rashad, make a deception check for me?
It's a natural one.
I know
Okay.
everything.
So, Stock, you can tell that Rashad is in fact lying about what he has been doing, and maybe about the raccoon too.
Yeah, it's it. Raccoons are horrible. They ain't my family.
So I'm gonna ignore this, but I'm gonna grab Nevis and pull him to the side to make sure we're a safe distance away from the party, and
Okay.
inform him that Vershad is lying to, at the very least, me, if not the party as a whole, about his clandestine activities.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to do anything? Nevis, what do you say to this?
At this point in time, I just tell them duly noted. Thanks for the information, and we'll have to keep our eyes and ears open.
Stock, you see that Nevis says noted in a way that does totally not mean go fuck yourself.
But do I believe it?
Make an insight check.
I'm doing it.
It turns out everyone's lying all the time.
12.
You believe him.
Okay.
All right. All right. Last chance. Anybody else?
No, I really have nothing at this point in time.
Scott, I think you're muted. I can't hear you talking.
Think we need to regale Vershad with the tales of the indestructible wolves, though.
Oh,
Do I believe him? Says this is what we're doing today.
Scott, I wonder if you might need to like pop out of the game chat really quick and pop back in.
Or if you scream real loud.
While we're kind of waiting for Scott to pop back in.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Okay, never mind.
I don't know what happened.
Me neither.
Discord.
Hey, it's still better than Skype.
Gremlins.
I was just trying to say, during the night, if Rashad is taking a watch, I want to wait up and talk to him when he's taking his watch.
Okay, that was actually going to be my next question then. Who is
go.
taking what watch? Stock, I'm assuming you want your third watch as usual?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll take first watch.
Last
Okay.
Second.
and first.
Okay. All right. Okay. Xanilor, yeah, you kind of wait up as you see everybody sort of Charlie and the Brads have been tied up for the evening. You see them start to settle down. Vershad's just kind of journaling a little bit, and you kind of write some things down in your own, and then you notice that everyone else has kind of gone to sleep, so you quietly close your journal, and there you go.
You talked to me a while ago while I was asleep.
You're going to have to be more specific.
Why did you talk to me while I was asleep?
I mean, I talked to a lot of people, and you sat there, and you seemed so serene. I just had to say something. As I begin to just sit there and stroke at my beard.
He's got a lot to work off of, is he, Scott?
I'm going to flip up my eye patch.
Okay.
Whoa, they both work? Oh, that's
say,
pretty cool.
We all have secrets. I'm sharing one with you.
Oh man, that's cool. That's really cool. So,
brought a tear to my eye.
what? Wait. Then why wear the eye patch? Is this one of those where you sit there, you try to get the special access because you're like, oh man, I got stabbed in one eye. Life's pretty terrible. Give me a cheaper meal, bro.
No.
Well, then what is it? Because that's the only reason I could think of. Or if you shot lasers from that eye.
I shoot a laser from my eye.
Holy shit! Do I believe him? Yes, I do.
There are people I'd rather not know I'm back.
Okay, gotcha. Well, if that's the case, I think we're in the same. As I sit there, I grab my beard, and I reveal that it is not attached to my face at all.
You hear a tearing sound as Rashad rips off his own beard.
This is the enchanted item Corey gave me. I gave floating beard. No, but you see that it was attached with a small adhesive along my jawline and just above my on my upper lip. As I pull it off, it does make a slight bandage ripping off sound, and there's just raw skin right where my upper lip is. I was there, yeah, I was wondering when people are going to realize that elves can't grow beards. Oh, you're waiting for me to explain this. Okay, I got it.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's the deal with that is I was a bystander to some pretty interesting magic where I think it might be related to those aberrations, the little black-eyed peed monsters that we fought and that wolf we fought. And they knew my face and they knew my name, and I'm pretty sure they're hunting me. So I made up a name, made up an appearance, and tried to look like I was so much of a trash ball no one would ever actually want to talk to me to find out who I was. So I imagine it's only a matter of time until I have to tell you guys that. Because if they find out who I really am, you might be targets too.
What did they look like?
When they were doing the rituals, they were all wearing robes.
hang on just a second on that one, Jay. I have some information that I'm going to.
They're all naked. They're all naked. Dicks flapping in the wind.
So look out for naked people.
Naked people with knives, run away from.
I think that would have been my natural reaction.
Well, that's good.
So naked people with stabbing implements, were they at crotch level?
If the halflings were, but you're not awake now.
Nope, this is just me asking questions.
Why can't I find this? Is it maybe only in my email? Scott, you didn't happen to delete those off of the Google Drive, did you?
Delete what?
Like the stuff that.
I mean, I haven't really gone into the Google Drive.
Okay, no, I've got it. All right. Let's see here.
Do I have access to that?
So, Vershad, you did notice that one of the people involved in this was the high elf. So you're right that they were all wearing like cloaks and things like that, but you did notice that that one of them was a high elf.
Then I share that information, and I sit there like I never caught a name. I don't have approximate ages, or even defining facial characteristics. I just have that one solitary piece of information.
So you're just hiding from everything.
Finding out exactly how bad the damage is while still being able to move about. So there's a lot of situations where this notebook, as I reach my satchel, might be more valuable than my own point. But it also has a bunch of editorials in there. I have to make time for fun somehow. Oh, yeah, by the way, as I rip off the top, the wig's fake too. And I put that right back down.
Is he just bald?
No, it's more buzzed hair, trying to make sure that a wig could actually fit on top. But at this point, it's probably grown out to about a 1/4 inch.
Okay. All right. One of you go ahead and make a perception check with advantage for me for watch for the shift.
Yeah, I'll do it because your vision has to sit there and catch up from going from 1 eye to 2. It's a 15 plus 4, 19.
Okay. All right. Yeah. While you have this sort of in-depth discussion, you're also like keeping an ear peeled. You're listening to see if the party members are waking up because you don't necessarily want them to find out yet, or you don't hear anything coming from around the camp at all. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to do or say before we moved on? I was just kind of stepping in there because it seemed like things were kind of petering off.
I think I got what I wanted.
Okay.
I'm just going to throw away the beard because that really hurt taking off.
I'm sure there's a less painful way to apply that.
Xanalor, are you going back to sleep or are you staying up for the remainder of the evening?
I'm going back to sleep, or at least trying to.
Okay. All right. So Vershad, your shift ends after your conversation. Basically, Xanalor has gone to sleep before your shift completely ended.
I'm sleeping in a tree, just so you know.
So you wake up Nevis and then just wander off to a tree to go to sleep. Nevis, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I believe it's a 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, you sit there and you listen. Nothing but the sounds of the evening.
I'm sorry, it's a 16.
16. Okay. Same answer. So your shift comes and goes, and you wake up Stock. And Stock, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Alrighty. That is going to be some number once I look at my character sheet. Perception is a 15.
15. Okay. One of your more focused evenings. Not a lot has been going on as far as sort of things where you've had to worry about checking your actions and things like that over the road. And you listen to the story of those the people on the pilgrimage, and you were sort of taken aback by their like the depth of their faith that they were willing to walk.
Their fanatical devotion.
Yeah, and just for them to be willing to like go all the way to the spine of the world, where it's cold as hell, just to do this pilgrimage is it kind of takes you back a little bit, and you wonder a little bit if you had that same level of devotion and it's like waned, or if you were ever there to your own master. And I'll leave you to sort of draw your own conclusions about your feelings on that. But your shift sort of comes to a close, and you wake up Xanalor for his shift, not knowing that he was up for part of Rashad's shift. Xanalor, you wake up for your shift. Go ahead and make a perception check for me. You do feel pretty groggy. I'm not making you roll a disadvantage, but
Okay.
it feels like you like just went to sleep.
That's a 16.
16. Okay. Yeah. So you get to watch yet another sunrise. Today is a little cloudy as the sun comes up. You're going to take a point of exhaustion for not getting a full night's rest.
Okay.
That should be your first, I think, on this trip.
Yep.
Okay. You feel like it was probably worth it a little bit. You maybe not necessarily feel relief at like having said something to someone about your own issues, but learning a little bit about what some of your traveling companions makes you feel a little more, a little safer in traveling with them. Just knowing that, like, you probably had an idea for a while that Rashad wasn't being completely forthright, and now that you've kind of heard from him like what it was, you feel like, oh, he's not like a mass murderer who's on the run. Thank God. So yeah, you wake up, or everyone starts to kind of slowly wake up. Like I said, the day is kind of cloudy. It looks like there may be a storm kind of coming over the Sword Mountains, but so far nothing yet. You guys pack up your things and you make your way out the road. And actually, we're going to kind of switch gears here a little bit. Sean, you're still there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Shadow Spawn. I can't believe you're going to make me call you that. After working with a local thieves guild in Neverwinter over the last couple weeks, you find yourself about 100 miles outside of the city, at the edge of the Neverwinter Wood. In order to complete a collaboration with a sort of sister guild in Waterdeep, you've been sent to a particular tree in a particular grove in order to make a dead drop. Clouds hang over the semi-sparse canopy. Inclement weather's on the way, though the plains along the high road being as open as they are, rain could be some time off. You locate the tree using Thieves' Cant. A series of small markings leads you through the trees a few hundred feet to a tree that stands alone within a clearing that's barely noticeable until you're on top of it. You find a notch in the tree. A low branch that isn't really a branch is pulled, and a knot on the tree pops loose, and inside is a hollow for placing the haul. You place the pouch inside and replace the knot. A satisfying click indicates a job well done. As you turn to leave, you hear the sound of a large sheet of parchment being torn on the other side of the tree. 2 tears to be exact, almost simultaneously. As you kind of peer around the tree, you see 2 horrible creatures start to come out from behind the tree. They first resemble wolves, a medium-sized quadruped with a head bearing a lupine bone structure. The fur is coarse and matted to its body in a reddish-brown sludge that drips off onto the floor of the woods, permeating the air with a putrid stench. The head, bereft of ears, is made up of a gaping maw that extends beyond the large side-set eyes all the way to its neck. As they come around the tree, their mouths open. You step back. The one on the left opens its massive mouth and lets out a roar/howl. Shaken to your core, you turn and run. Through the trees, branches and trunks whooshing past, you feel the beasts behind you. It sounds like they're close enough to snag your heel if you slow up even for a second. You feel like you hear them about to launch a coordinated attack, when suddenly you clear the tree line. You've made it to the trade route. Surely someone will see you and come to your aid. Shadowspawn, why don't you go ahead and describe the figure that the party sees burst from the tree line with 2 wolf-like monsters in tow?
What do you mean, describe myself?
Yeah, like what do you look like?
That's a really good question. Well, I'm about, you see brown flowing hair flying behind. Looks like I've been out in the sun for a while. Normal size, about 5'7".
What race do you appear to be?
It's a good question. I forgot. Let's see here.
Looks like a human.
I think I am human. I don't even have that down here. Human.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys see this figure burst out of the trees
Just
and
another.
leather armor. Okay. And he's just a few like maybe 60 feet away from you up the road. And you see 2 of those wolf-like creatures that you encountered at Menkop's farm. Why don't everybody roll initiative for me?
There's a good sign. 20.
All right, 20 to 25. Oh, okay. 15 to 20.
I have a 17.
All right, 10 to 15.
13.
12.
Okay. 5 to 10.
8.
6.
Okay. Okay. So the creatures are up first. The one that's closest to you, Shadowspawn, is going to attempt to pounce on you. It's gonna make it a grapple attempt. So why don't you go ahead and roll an athletics check? It's gonna be a contested check against this creature.
13.
13. Okay. You hear the sound as this creature sort of plants its feet and launches itself at you, and you sort of with a flourish of your cloak, the creature winds up missing you by a little bit. The other one is going to sort of step up and try to do the same thing as it catches up to the 2 of you after this exchange. Go ahead and make another one for me. Another athletics check.
14.
All right. Same thing happens on the second one. You, as you sort of whirl around to avoid the first one, you see the second one start to launch, and you sort of you allow yourself to fall back, and it launches itself over you, and you roll back up onto your feet. Shadowspawn, you are up next. Xanalor, you're on deck. So it's your turn, Shadowspawn.
Oh, I thought you said Xanthar's on deck.
No, he's on deck. You're up. He'll be next.
All right, well, I guess I'm going to attack.
Okay. Which one? The one directly to your left, or the one to your?
Well, looking at the map one, the one that's in front of me.
Okay.
I guess that'd be to my left.
All right, go ahead and roll to attack.
So, what do I get? It's been so long. So I'm using my rapier. I
Mhm.
have a 22.
22 hits.
Takes 9.
9. Okay. All right. So that brings us to Xanalor. Stock, you're on deck.
All right, I'm gonna hop off my donkey.
Okay.
And then go out here.
Okay.
And then Eldritch Blast this guy.
All right.
Not good. 10 to hit.
10 will miss.
Okay. That is it.
So, Shadow Spawn, you notice as you've run to the road, you saw this group coming towards you, and you just kind of hoped that they would come to your aid. You see a blast of energy just barely miss one of the wolf-like creatures.
Hair?
And so, yeah, a little bit of relief as you notice that someone is coming to help. Stock, you're up.
All right, so or don't let me move.
Rashad, you're on deck.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'll go right there.
Okay.
And I want to cleave over this weirdo running around in the forest at night.
It's daytime.
Nighttime in my mind. Either way, I want to cleave over this weirdo running through the forest during the day.
Okay.
Let me just double check something. Because why not? I'm going to use one of my fighting spirits to give myself advantage. Because I've been rolling like shit as of late. Get in the box. That is some number that I have to do math on. A 16 to hit.
That will hit.
Alright, and that is 7 slashing damage.
Okay. All right. Rashad, you're up. Nevis, you're on deck.
All right. While staying mounted on Charlie.
Okay.
What's his move speed?
That's a good question.
Because I believe the base on here is 40 feet. Once I check my extras, yeah, he gets 40 feet. Now the question here is, if I have Charlie move,
Mhm.
can he dash and not affect my action economy?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, we'll go ahead and say that for now. I need to kind of look up how mounted combat works, but yeah.
So me and Charlie, I'm going to use his ability to dash to move 80 feet. And there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. And I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on this guy. I'm going to choose Bear's Endurance for giving him advantage on Constitution checks, an additional 2d6 temporary hit points. 4 and 3. So he has 7 additional hit points. So his hit point, like his temporary hit points.
Okay.
And then use the remainder of my movement to go 5, 10, 15. And that'll end my turn.
Okay. Yes, I'm looking at mounted combat, and it does work that way. So yeah, you can dash on Charlie.
Cool.
And Charlie acts on your turn since you're controlling him. He's not smart enough to act independently.
Sweet deal.
Okay. So Nevis, you are up.
All right, I dismount, and then I move here, trying to stay out of Xanalor's line of sight, his line of attack.
Mhm.
And then I want to cast, like the bad against a wolf creature, but I want to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
So that's a dex save of 14.
Okay. Nope, that's going to fail with a 10.
Nice. So Oh, it was the one to the left of Shadow
Yeah.
Spawn, by the way. He takes 6 fire damage.
Okay. I think it might be radiant damage.
Radiant. Yeah, it is radiant. I was checking as I was saying that. So yeah, 6 radiant damage, and that
Okay.
ends my turn.
All right. Okay. So, okay. So it's the wolf creature's turn now. The one immediately to your left, Shadow Spawn, is going to try to make an attempt to grapple you again. So go ahead and roll an athletics check for me.
21.
21. All right. So it misses you. While that one is jumping at you and trying to bite you, the other one is going to, or is just trying to grapple you. The other one is going to make 2 bite attacks against you. Does a 13 hit you?
No.
No. Okay. So the other one you hear as the what's up?
The guy that misses me, can I have an attack of opportunity?
Nope.
Yeah.
Not how that works. Because he didn't leave your range.
But I dodged him so deftly, he just totally missed me, and I should have been able to stab him in the back as he missed. As he sailed past.
Because he didn't sail past.
The answer is no, Mike. Stop arguing with the DM.
All right. So Shadow Spawn, you're up next. It's your turn. Xanilor, you're on deck.
Wait, who's up now?
You are.
Why does it keep sounding like you're saying?
I said Shadow Spawn. It's your turn.
Oh.
Xanilor, you're on deck. That means that he's next.
Yeah. Well, I didn't hear me. I heard him. I'm attacking again.
Mm-hmm. The same one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you bastard. I pretty much missed. I had a 10.
10? Okay. You didn't roll a natural 1, right?
No, it wasn't. It was going to 11, and then it rolled to a 4. So.
Okay. Just making sure, because we're in this campaign now, especially because of some abilities. Crit fails will result in your weapon being damaged. Okay. Xanilor, you're up. Stock, you're on deck.
Eldritch Blast, the closer one.
Okay.
17 to hit.
Yes.
Cool. And I rolled a 10, so 15 force damage.
Oh, nice. Okay. That wolf monster looks pretty rough. Stock, you're up.
Maintain position, and I'm just going to do a straight glaive attack.
Okay.
No, I rolled the wrong damn thing. Where'd my 20s go? Yeah, that ain't going to hit. That's a total 8.
Yep, nope, that misses. Sorry. That brings us to Vershad. Nevis, you're on deck.
All right. So if that's the case, let's go ahead and you're staying nice. I might do something I've never done before. I'm going to ride with Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to swoop in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and I'm going to hit him with Cricket.
Okay.
You know, we're going to have to start calling you Don Quixote now, right?
Yeah. And that is 12 to hit.
12 just barely hits.
Oh, geez. Okay. And it does 4 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then I'll sit there and circle around 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. That's my turn.
Okay.
Big old circle.
Mm-hmm.
You just see Rashad, like Charlie is just hauling ass and like just
Who is that burrow rider?
just really quick, like goes right past one of the wolf creatures, and you just see Rashad pull out a cricket bat just on his way through, like he's playing polo.
Yeah, and the entire time he's just sitting there. He's just sitting there and screaming. But he's not good at war chants. So just like ah.
Please say you use the word tally ho.
No, he's not.
You're no
He's not
fun.
that clever.
You're no fun.
All right, Nevis, you're up.
All right, I am going to move over here so that
Okay.
I'm still not in anybody's way.
Mhm.
And I want to try casting Toll the Dead on the one that everyone's been attacking.
Okay.
So another Dex save, 14.
Is it Dex or
Okay, that's a
Constitution
wisdom.
for Toll the Dead?
That's wisdom. Sorry.
It's Wisdom?
Yes, it is.
Okay. That's a 14.
You got a 14?
Yeah.
Okay, me too, beats it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's the end of your turn. The wolf creatures are up. They're gonna both try to bite at Shadow Spawn. The first
What
one.
the hell, guys? There's other people attacking you. Spread the wealth.
Does an 18 hit you?
It definitely does.
Okay. So you're gonna take 7 piercing damage, and I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
You have an advantage.
Whoa. And a Constitution saving throw the advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on a second.
Because I enhanced your Constitution ability.
Did you give me the temporary hit points too?
Yes.
Oh.
How many was that again?
7.
7. Okay. So yeah,
So that
you
just
basically.
neutralized it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So hold on, let me add that back in. Constitution saving throw with advantage. So, okay. I'm always rusty and I've always screwed up my saving throw. So I get +2 to my saving throw and that's it, right?
Whatever's in the box.
Let me take a look here.
Well, you saving throw number your character sheet.
Yes, it's a +2. So +2 with advantage.
Wow. 8.
8. Okay. So you are currently poisoned.
Ugh. Ugh.
And the other wolf it hits you with its one of its bite attacks, and you take 4 piercing damage. And I don't really need you to roll another Constitution saving throw because this doesn't stack. So once you take those hit points off, it's going to be your turn. And then Xanalor, you're on deck.
Cool. 23.
Okay, that hits.
11.
All right. That wolf creature goes down.
Can I do a history check on them?
To what end?
I want to see if they're nulls.
You have never seen anything like this before. So Xanalor, you're up.
Yep. Let's Eldritch Blast the other guy.
Mhm.
20 to hit.
Yep.
And 7 force damage.
Okay. All right. Stock, you're up. Vershad, you're on deck.
Okay.
All right. Then we'll take a step forward and to the left there. And let's go cleaving again.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. All right. For shot, you're up.
All right, cool.
Nevis, you're on deck.
Let's see here. Coming around with my dash again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is where I want to be.
Okay.
And it's time to bring out Cricket. Natural 1 leading to a 3.
Okay. You swing this. You swing quick cricket at this this wolf-like creature, and it cricket actually you hear a cracking noise, and then you look at cricket, and it's like sort of hanging on by a few fibers of wood.
Mine was a natural 1 also, Corey. I forgot about that.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So it's kind of like before where you went to stab and you missed, and you like hit your glaive on a rock, and it chipped the blade.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe you forgot to say that, Mike, after I literally just said that.
I was distracted.
40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, and there's my turn. Make it easy for you, Corey.
All right, Nevis, you're up.
I want to move in a little closer to that other creature and once again cast Sacred Flame. So this is a dex of 14.
Okay. Dex of 14. It's a 14.
Wow, that's 2 in a row.
No, I'm sorry.
It's my turn.
Okay. Why is this not working? All of a sudden, just like stopped playing music. Okay, the wolf creatures are up next. Shadow Spawn, you're going to have an attack of opportunity with disadvantage though because of the poison as this thing tries to move away. Actually,
Well, I had a 1.
You had a 1? Okay. Yeah, so you try to swing or stab your rapier at it as you move away, and you wind up missing on your sort of downward swing because it's a lower creature, and you wind up hitting the tip on a stone on the pathway, and it actually bends the tip of your rapier.
Shit.
So your rapier will be rendered unusable for the remainder of this fight. But you are up, Shadow Spawn. It is your turn.
All right. I'm going to go after him. And I'm going to use my short sword.
Okay.
I do
Go ahead and roll to attack with disadvantage.
Why is it disadvantage?
Because you're poisoned.
Oh, still. Okay, gotcha. Unbelievable. I just rolled another 1.
I'm going to be busy, aren't I?
What?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So
I'm going to be really busy.
You swing your sort of guild issued short sword, and you hit the creature with it, and you hear a really not good sound as the blade detaches from the hilt.
It's not my fault.
I would
There we
stop
go.
attacking
Fine.
because if you're going to use your hands next, you're probably going to break your hand too.
All right, Xanalor, you're up.
Just play dead. I'm gonna run there and then Eldritch Blast that dude.
Okay.
Hopefully. That's a 20.
Nice. All right.
And I rolled a 9, so 23 force damage.
Wow. Nice. Okay. Stock, you're up.
All right. Seeing as my glaive is fucked at the moment a little bit, I'm gonna switch over to my greatsword. Maybe I'll have better luck. Natural 20.
Okay. You need to move.
Yeah.
So I love how we had 3 natural ones in that last round, and now we've had 2 consecutive nat 20s.
Don't worry, I'll regress this to the mean.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. That one hopped out of the box. And then it rolled worse, so that's okay. So that is 12 slashing damage.
All right. How do you want to do this?
After dinging off that rock, I'm just gonna go ham on this thing and just kind of slice it from nose to tail, down the middle, and then just keep hacking.
Okay.
Oh, new illustrations.
All right. So yeah, with that, combat is over.
Are these similar in nature to the devil dog we fought before?
According to your notes, Stock, it looks the same. Yeah.
Okay.
What were those things?
I've never seen them.
Shadow Spawn, now that we're like out of combat and you're not being actively like attempted to be annihilated by these creatures, why don't you go ahead and make that make an investigation check for me.
I should be able to make that. 10.
Okay. So you, like I said before, you have never seen these things before. And as far as like trying to figure out if they're gnolls or not, you feel like you've never seen one yourself, a gnoll, but you're pretty sure that they walk on 2 feet, and these didn't.
Okay. Okay, just want to say thanks for the assist. Appreciate it.
Who are you?
Now that we're out of combat, guys, why don't you go ahead and describe these people that Shadow Spawn sees that saved him. We'll start with Stock, and then we'll move to Xanalor, Vershad, and Nevis.
Okay, so you see a fully armored creature, person, human thing, that is from head to toe covered in armor that has a face mask. It is more of a, for your personal reference, a Japanese samurai stylized armor. It comes in shades of varying blues. It is the standard layered segmented pieces of leather and laminate. On the front of it is embossed a large blue and white lotus flower. I'm standing about 7.5 foot tall, and my upper torso looks much stockier than my lower body, like somebody who has spent way too much time in the gym focusing on upper body and neglecting leg day. If you understand that.
I do.
Underneath the armor, you see what appears to be cold weather padding. It is made up of similar colored blues and whites of fur that is sticking out. Across the armor as a whole, there is elements of silver embellishment and trim.
Pretty.
Okay. Did everybody go?
Stock just finished.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just had me
Xanalor, you're
start.
up.
I'm up.
Yeah.
Okay. I am like a slightly above average height, half elf, slight build. Got an eye patch on, like long, thin, white blonde hair that's clearly bleached. The one eye you can see is like a bright pale blue. And I wear like black leather armor. and a hooded cloak. The armor is like clearly really old and worn. Like it might have been kind of fancy when it was new, but it's been a good couple decades. And then have like a red crystal and a silver chain around my neck. That's the short version.
All right, Vershad.
Yeah, you see an individual who's about 6 feet tall, half health, pointy ears. The most noticeable thing about him right now is that his upper lip and his jawline are absolutely like chapped and irritated,
Just raw.
almost like he just ripped off a fake beard. He has a really unkempt hair that is a mixture of different colors, black, gray, and white. He is wearing very, very ragged clothes, and is riding atop of a donkey named Charlie. You see him looking down. He's almost got his entire focus on the donkey right now, and is kind of not even worried about what's happening over on your side of the road.
Has Charlie calmed down yet, or is he still like sprinting around in circles?
It's now at a solid trot.
Okay, but still like has not ceased movement.
Yeah, we're cooling down to avoid donkey injuries.
Okay, all right, yeah. Don't want to pull a donkey hammy.
Yeah.
All right, Nevis, go ahead and describe your character.
Shadow Spawn, what you see standing next to the heavily armored, heavily muscled fighter is a pretty average-looking human. Average height, average build, brown hair, brown eyes, fully armored. You might notice that the armor is maybe slightly a different design than you've ever seen before. And you might also notice around my neck is a chain with a symbol on the end that is basically a hammer. And that's it.
What about the burns?
I wouldn't have had that on when I were in combat.
No, like you guys aren't in combat anymore. So like,
That's right. Yeah. Because of the armor, you can't see all of it, but you might also notice on the left side of my face and my head and neck is burn scars from fire.
Yeah. All right. So Shadow Spawn, those are the people that you see having come to your aid. Excuse me. And yeah, so that's where you guys are. You're kind of here on the trade route, having just defeated these monsters and surrounded by this new group of people.
Well, I must say, well met.
Who have we met?
And thank you for the timely assist. I don't know what the hell those things were, why they were even attacking. Well, obviously because I look like lunch, but...
Shadow Spawn, you actually notice on your so the creature, it sort of, when it bit you, it was on like your sort of like your calf area, and you like look at your calf as you're saying this to the group, and you look at it, and you actually have some of that reddish brown ichor like sort of seeping out of the wound. And as you look, it seems like it's continuing to, along with your own blood. Whatever it when it bit you, it that you feel like very weak because of like that quote unquote poison condition.
Oh man, that looks infected. Oh man, you should probably clean that out.
That's kind of what I'm doing, is trying to clean it up as best as I can.
Okay. Sort of like as you are you saying that you want to take a short rest?
Yeah, I have to take a short rest. like I said, thanks for the assist. I broke both my weapons. I got to see if one of them's at least repairable, and I'm bleeding and I feel like shit. It's been a good day overall.
What made it so good?
I was being facetious.
Well, why wouldn't you just say today was terrible? That's a lot simpler.
I have medicine as a proficiency. Is
Okay.
it possible that I could help Shadow Spawn with his wound?
So Shadow Spawn, go ahead and why don't you roll your hit die to regain hit points during the short rest here. I will, and then Nevis, go ahead and make a medicine check for me.
22.
22. So it looks like he looks like he's potentially in need of some like actual medical care. As the wound is like being cleaned, more of that reddish brown ichor just continues to slowly seep out of it.
Well, I rolled a 5 for hit points, which
Okay.
put me at my max again.
Okay.
If I may, I approach Shadow Spawn. I hold out my hand. I say, I'm Nevis. Do I have your permission to assist you? Anyone with CPR training knows that that's the procedure.
Sure. Whatever I'm doing isn't working.
All right, so in addition to helping him bind his wound, if I cast Cure Wounds on him, will that negate some of the poisonous effect or no?
I actually need to look into that.
It doesn't actually specify in Cure Wounds that it takes care of poisons, but
Yeah, it might be a
Like, wouldn't it have to be like lesser restoration?
it might need to be a lesser restoration thing.
I do not have any of that.
Let me.
Well, if I'm a short rest, how long is that poison going to stay?
Forever. Based on what you've been able to figure out over the course of the short rest and Nevis with your medicine check, it seems like it's not necessarily just a poison effect so much as a disease that may last until it's cured.
Cool. They're rabid.
Hey, guys, I don't want to be the one that sits there and comes up with the bad news here, but we might be coming into a life or limb situation.
Where's the wound?
It's on his calf.
Okay. How attached are you to your leg?
I mean, yes, physically, but I mean, like, emotionally.
This is a shock, but I'm actually I've grown pretty fond of my limbs.
Curious.
So, Nevis, you do have second level spells at this point, right? Or no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you do know that you can. You might not be able to do it right now, not today, but you will be able to, after a long rest, have lesser restoration in your spell list, and you can use it because you are a cleric, and your spells are very fluid like that.
All right, so that's just simply something I need to like learn and then swap out over a long rest.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So like you don't like as a cleric, the way like your spell casting works is like you personally don't necessarily like learn spells. Like you kind of like know all of the things that Hephaestus will allow you to do, right? And like basically each day you like mentally prepare like a list of the things that you'll use like over the course of the day.
Mhm.
So you're renting it. It's like Spell Blockbuster.
Spellbuster.
And if you give these spells back late, they're going to charge you an arm and a leg.
Nevis, how many channel divinities do you have in a day?
I believe it's 2.
2. Okay. I was just asking for the sake of your ability to fix the. Is it 4? 4 weapons that are broken? Stock's glaive, Vershad's cricket bat, and 2 of Shadow Spawn's weapons.
At this point, I probably just sit there and drop cricket, and I pick up a log of comparable size and weight.
I was gonna
And
say,
call it
actually,
good.
if you wanted to spend some time druid crafting, you could probably repair cricket.
You know what? No, cricket served me well. It's time just to get a regular old log.
Okay.
Just remember, it's better than bad.
He's getting
It's
back
good.
to his roots, guys.
But
Yep. Yep. And I'm just gonna be running around with the greatsword for the time being
Okay.
till we get some availability to fix things.
Cricket was a club, correct? As far as the
yeah.
yeah. So for purposes of mechanics, your log will still be a club.
Yep. I'm just changing the name of cricket.
Just
I'll be
change
right
it to
back.
log.
Yep.
Okay.
So I think for my Artisan's Blessing, I can use the Channel Divinity, and it's 1 time for each short rest.
Oh yeah, it does work.
So I can probably do it twice in a day.
Yeah. Okay. So is there a weapon that you would have wanted to start fixing? Like, would you, like, for instance, like with like Stock's weapon, would you have started fixing that like right after the battle ended?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would definitely grab Stock's glaive first because I've already kind of worked on that a little bit, so I'm
Yeah.
familiar with that one.
Okay.
So, yeah, and besides, he's our meat shield, so.
Right. All right. So Stock, your glaive is actually repaired, and then over the course of the short rest that we're taking, you get your channel divinity back.
All right, and I see that Vendy has taken care of matters himself.
Yeah, and you also know that you wouldn't have really been able to help him too much. You know that your Artisan's Blessing requires that the item have metal of some sort, and it seems like Vershad does not trend that direction.
I
Yeah,
hand 2 gold off to freaking Nevis though for the repair.
Stock has no need of money.
Thanks, but of course, it's not necessary.
Payment for services rendered.
So I guess I know that Shadow Spawn is going to stay with us.
We haven't discussed yet.
Yeah, you guys haven't really discussed that yet.
We've been handling, the bureaucratic bullshit that needs to be accomplished before any in-depth discussion can have. We need to figure out what he's been doing out here, why those things were chasing him, what his purpose in life is.
Hold on. I got the perfect first question for him. I got this, guys. We got it handled. As I turn to Shadow Spawn, I go, "Who is your dad and what does he do?"
Oh my god, I was actually going to say that.
So I look at him and I say, "Sir, I've given you my name. May we have yours?"
He's actually away from his computer at the moment.
Yeah. So
He
let's
doesn't
group huddle and
talk.
figure out what we want to do with this weirdo running through the woods being chased by devil dogs.
Why do you sit there and keep on referring to me as the weirdo?
You weren't being chased by devil dogs.
Oh, it's not me?
You were chasing the devil dogs.
Oh, I was
On
just
an ass.
I was just having a good time with Charlie.
The fabled ass druid.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I couldn't afford a horse.
I think it works.
Was the donkey riding like part of your plan with this character? Or did that
Not
just
even a
kinda
little
come
bit.
up? Okay.
Not till Corey gave us the option of asses.
Because actually, if Frashad died, my next character was going to be a cavalier fighter. So I looked up like what the rules on mounted combat was, and then I said, "There's like, oh, I've already established that my character does really care about his donkey."
Mm-hmm. And now he
So-
plays polo.
Yeah, and now I have extra range to go back and forth.
Also, while we're waiting for Shadow Spawn, I don't know that anybody's really told Vershad why you guys are on the road again.
Oh, I don't need to know.
We'll tell him when the time comes.
Yeah.
When the time is right.
I just pick up this cup of coffee. It's like, hey guys, is this what we're looking for? It's like, yeah, sure, okay.
Keep that
Yep,
way,
you can
too.
go back to Neverwinter.
Yep. Because let's be honest here, even if I knew what we were going to do, it's not like I'd sit there and really help speed up the process. And I thought the note told me that I had brew. That we were looking for brew.
The note told you that they were headed towards Dazut just so that you would
okay.
know where you were going, basically.
Oh, okay.
So,
In the meantime, I'd like to talk to Borax.
I can't do a Borax voice.
Yeah, don't worry, the DM can.
What do you want to talk to Borax about?
No, I just want to ask him about his day since we're on downtime right now. Do you like this donkey more than the Owens? Or sorry, the Clives?
Clives.
So it's not that I didn't like Clive. It's that I don't particularly like being used for pineapple. So I was a little bit hurt. To be honest with you, I haven't really tried to get close with Pitt.
Have you ever just carried something other than pineapple?
What do you mean?
Like a different fruit, like pears.
Well, it was just Clive told me that he really liked pineapple.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. What is Pitt like?
Don't really know, don't care.
That really hurts you.
Yeah. I've never felt so used before. I thought we had a real connection, but it turns out he just wanted pineapple.
all right,
Well-
we're gonna turn into a Lifetime movie.
Well, what an ass. All right, I'll go talk to you next week.
So, while we're waiting, how does the party feel about this shadow spawn that is running through the woods?
I mean,
Feels
it
pretty
sounds
good.
like a very evil name.
What, have we learned his name yet?
Not really, no. I don't think Shadow Spawn's
Okay.
actually introduced himself, no.
What
He
is
said,
your
he said
name?
well met.
sir?
No, his name's well met. He said it multiple times.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Well met. Why are you here?
Well,
Anyang.
kind of wandering and taking a stroll out in the woods.
Does he
Do
cast
I
a shadow?
believe him?
Yeah, do we believe him?
Whoever wants to make an insight check.
Can't just say no.
Shadow Spawn, make a deception check for me.
13.
16.
Eight.
You can tell that he's not
Dirty
being
20.
entirely. Well, you guys can tell that he's not telling the whole truth.
All right, I grab a pamphlet and I put it out. It's like, All right. I need you to solemnly swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So help you. And I open the pamphlet. Borax.
I'm gonna hold out my hand and let some Eldritch Blast energy kind of sit there
Okay.
to tell us who you are. You came out with the wolves. How do we know you aren't one of them?
I came out running because of the wolves.
You say
Otherwise,
that.
I would have just been walking.
What are you doing here?
I told you. I was just taking a walk in the woods.
Who is your
I'm,
dad and what does he do?
I'm gonna zap a little right next to his feet.
Okay. Make an intimidation check.
Natural 20. Plus
All right.
7.
Shadow Spawn, you as this Eldritch Blast energy hits the ground next to your feet, having just kind of been through what you've been through, you realize that at least the blonde guy means serious business.
I was making. I work for some local people that aren't very friendly, and I was doing something for them. You know, I'm pretty confident I can get a quick death out of you guys. I know they're not going to give me a quick death. So that's all I'm telling you.
Well, who said anything about killing you? We could have. Wait, what? Guys, are we murderers?
You offended his druid sensibilities.
You guys are just sometimes not good guys. Like, hey, I'm gonna give this family whose son just passed away rations so they can get to Neverwinter, but then I'm gonna extort this NPC for more money for the information that we have.
Look, I just put this out here. I've never murdered anything ever, except for maybe like a really good salad.
Wait, you're saying you've never eaten meat?
Oh no, I've eaten meat. I just, didn't murder it.
I was gonna say you were about to give stock a new purpose in life. So what work were you doing out here in the middle of the woods?
I think you've gotten all you're gonna get out of that question from him.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out what else I can
Hold
ask.
on,
Go
hold
at
on.
this a different way. We'll just say
But why male models?
I was out walking and I was doing something for a friend of mine.
But why male models?
Well, because somebody has to model for the male system.
Are you kidding me? I just explained this.
Their little blue shorts in the summer and, those satchel bags. Somebody's got to be the face of the male models.
Okay, so I think the question that you guys are meaning to ask but not asking is, what do you have to do with those wolves?
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with those wolves. They were after me. I never seen them before in my life.
That is actually true. So also, Shadow Spawn, just so you know, this is something that was kind of talked about at the beginning of the first session. So you've heard these rumors. People have been telling these rumors. No one that you've talked to about it or heard this rumor from has actually firsthand seen what these rumors pertain to. But there's been rumors going about all around the Sword Coast about these like horrible creatures that seem to come out of these like tears in the air.
Tears in the air. Well, that's weird. Because when I was in the woods and right before they appeared, I heard what sounded like somebody was ripping parchment.
This
Sounds
tracks.
familiar. So, what is your speciality, and would you prefer a more noble purpose?
And is Shadow Spawn a code name?
Did he even say Shadow Spawn?
He still has not said his name.
Yeah. 3 questions. What is your name?
What is your quest?
What is your quest?
You guys
And
saved
what
my
is your
life.
favorite color?
I'm gonna
Those are my 3
answer
questions.
My name. You may call me Shadow Spawn.
I'm not calling you that.
Yeah. How about Tyler? Tyler works.
Well met.
Shadow well met spawn.
Ooh. He was doing a job for somebody else. We could just call him Pawn.
And what I do for a living, well, let's just say I'm a consultant.
You break your weapons.
So you're a pawn.
Are you testing people's weapons that they give you to see how you can break them?
No, unfortunately, those were my weapons. I haven't been a successful consultant yet, per se.
So
So
is this
Spawn,
like-
you actually share a problem with a member of the party where gold just seems to fall through your hands faster than you can grab it.
So, you get what you pay for, I guess.
Well, how would you feel about being a consultant for the Mages College out of Neverwinter?
The price is your real name.
Shadow Spawn, why don't you go ahead and make an insight check for me?
Did you say insight?
Yeah.
Nope, outside.
11.
Okay. I'm sending you a whisper. So it'll show up in the Roll20 chat once I'm done typing it.
Type. Dan is muted.
Yeah, he usually is when he's not talking. All right, so I just sent that.
So, you're saying to join you for a consulting position in the College of Mages?
In a manner. Consider this a trial by fire system.
We're owl exterminators.
Sounds like an opportunity.
At the very least, you would make a good distraction based off of the recent events we have seen.
Oh my god, we could totally run the magnet.
He's a slippery one.
Yeah. No, as we put you out there, you garner all the attention, draw everyone in like a magnet, and then we go do the job.
What are magnets and how do they work? Nobody knows.
Okay, Insane Clown Posse. Just like what we used to do with Lucian.
Who's Lucian?
Yeah, I get it. We haven't played that campaign in a while.
So, yeah, count me in.
Alright. So, at that point, I'm starting to run out of time, so I don't want to get into the lore dump at the moment of what's been going on with the college, how, I'm just going to paraphrase. College is having issues, losing items, members, on a quest to go get a magical item to prevent a cult-type entity that was formerly part of the college from acquiring it first.
There's sort of a Voldemort-y guy.
Yeah, we weren't able to confirm if they had a nose or not. Or if it was a face in the back of somebody else's head.
Spoiler alert.
All right. So Shadowspawn, since you're deciding to roll with them, I think for the time being, at least, you don't have a amount, but you can probably fit with the halfling without an issue. If that's how the party wants to progress with that going forward, after we do get Aaron back in with us, then that's what we'll do. But
Which one's the halfling?
so that's Borax. He's not here today. Aaron had a family in town, so he couldn't play. But just for the sake of having you have something that you can ride on, you're just riding with a sort of red-haired halfling who also appears to be of the druidic persuasion.
The druid rose.
So you guys, get back on the road, and you make your way, continuing northeast along that path. And so then you get to where you're making camp for the evening. Who is taking what watch?
First.
I'm staying up this time. We got a new guy.
Okay.
Well, great. I'm gonna go to sleep then. I don't feel good anyways, and both my weapons are fucked up.
I'll take second again.
I'll take my third.
Okay.
You guys make sure I sleep really well too. If I start snoring, roll me over a little so that I'm.
We just
Thanks,
moved camp further away.
Okay, so for the evening, sorry, who said they were taking first watch?
Yo.
Okay, all right. So Shadowspawn, can you make another Constitution saving throw for me? You do not have advantage on this one.
Sure, I've been missing all day. Why not make another?
At least I don't think so. How long does enhance ability last for, Vershad?
An hour.
An hour. Okay, yeah, you don't have advantage this time.
15.
15. Okay. All right. So yeah, you sleep pretty peacefully. Vershad, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That will be a 17. 13 plus 4.
Okay. Seems like tonight is another fairly quiet evening. You don't hear any invincible wolves tracking the party in the trees. You don't hear any not so invincible but very gross and deadly devil dogs, whatever you guys have been calling them.
The one thing I'd like to do is while we're in camp, I just sit there and before Shellspawn goes to sleep, I like it. Hey, do you have any ID on you?
Do I have an ID on me?
Yeah, just something that says you're licensed to drive these donkeys. And then with that look of confusion, I was like, "Oh, okay, don't worry, we'll get you one." And I just go back to my watch.
All right. Neves, you have second watch?
Yes.
Okay.
Perception checks only a 10.
10. Okay. During the day, would you have used your channel divinity to repair one of Shadowspawn's weapons?
Actually, sorry, it was a 13. I got my 9s and 6s mixed up.
Okay.
Not too sure.
The answer can be not just yet. I mean, I think that's a fair.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. New guy coming in. I don't know. I'm already going to be changing out some spells to help him out. I think that's the biggest priority right now. He's not going to be able to use any weapons broken or intact if he's dying of poison.
Right. Okay. All right. So you said a 13 for your watch?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So your watch goes by. You see Xanalor kind of quietly journaling, as he does from time to time. Seems like he's probably not going to bed this evening again. But yeah, other than that, no signs of threat to the camp. So your watch goes by. You wake up Stock. Stock, go ahead and make a perception check.
I rolled a 19 for it.
19. Okay. You're not sure what it is about this trip, but your focus at night has been iron. So yeah,
we got him some Adderall.
Your watch, you're focusing really well. Again, you see Xanalor doing some of his journaling quietly to himself. And again, nothing threatening comes by the camp at all.
Toward, I like it.
Yeah. Shadow Spawn, not Shadow Spawn, sorry, Xanalor. Why don't you go ahead and make a perception check for me? This is going to be with disadvantage.
Yep. It had to be disadvantage. That was a 20. 12.
12. Okay. Yeah, you just kind of quietly journaling through the night. You look up from time to time to see what Shadow Spawn is doing, and he appears to be sleeping pretty well. You watch as Rashad's watch comes and goes. You watch Nevis do his turn, and Stock just kind of, you see him stand there with his glaive in hand, just staring out into the darkness intently, and then he goes to sleep, and a few hours later the sun comes up, and it's the dawn of a new day. And then so you guys you wake up, you have your breakfast. You get the donkeys packed back up. Your bedrolls or bearskin rugs in Xanalor's case rolled back up, and you head out on the road. Today, the whatever weather what looked like it was coming, it must have been when it hit the mountains, and that it was forced sort of over by the elevation. Wherever that rain fell, it certainly wasn't on this part of the Neverwinter Wood where you guys are now. So you guys take off on it's a relatively sunny day, some clouds in the sky, and as you continue down the road, you hear a sound coming from your left on the side of the road. Go ahead and actually, let me look here. Stock, Vershad, and Nevis, you guys actually kind of notice the sound first. And you hear what sounds like several sets of footprints coming from the woods next to you, and out from the trees comes a really big bear, and what looks to be 3 cubs of they're not cubs per se. They're maybe adolescent bears. They haven't gotten old enough yet to leave what appears to be their mother, but they're definitely big enough to be a threat. And as the bears come sort of barreling out of the woods, you see the mother stop sort of in the road in front of you, and stands up on its hind legs and lets out a huge roar. And
this sounds like a great time for me to cast Speak with Animals as a ritual, if that's the one that I can do.
So a ritual casting takes 10 minutes.
Just wait, bears.
Yeah. I put a finger up as I start going through the ritual. No, I'll just cast it.
Okay.
And I sit there and say, hello.
Let me see here.
You seem to be in some distress. Is there anything we can do to alleviate this?
The bear, after having made those those threatening bear noises that they make while on their hind legs, it goes down on all fours and lets out an even larger roar. It appears as though the creature is incapable of speaking with you.
Yeah. It seems like there's some. I got this. Don't worry, guys. The spell worked. There's some raiders on the trail, and the bear was supposed to beat them, but somehow at the last second, the raiders won. And yeah, they're very, very, very angry about that.
I was at that game.
And so what we're going to do, we're actually going to end here since there's only 2 minutes before Mike has to leave for work. But what we're going to do for next week is we're going to start out by rolling initiative.